And then you get into a little bit more complex things with the building blocks. And those are going to be your product roadmap, review tracker, project assets, and launch content tracker. They're very similar in how they operate, but I just want to put these in so you can see what they look like. If we do a product roadmap, you're going to see where you can list out your projects, you can add files, then you can also put in notes. And then this goes back to the drop down chips that we saw before, where you have, for this particular building block, this product roadmap, there are these presets for the status of each individual piece of the project. Now, you don't have to stick with these. You can add or edit those still, which is really nice. So if you have something that you refer to within with a given uh, project aspect that you're working on, maybe these titles don't make sense and you could always change those, or maybe you need more. So that's where you can tailor that to whatever works for you and your group that you're working with. Um, okay, so you can add any of those specifics in. And then the next one is the review tracker. And this one I like because you can, put your person in there for who is reviewing that. Um, or let's say that this project is completely done. And so your next step is you have 4 people in your group, and what you would like them to do is go through each aspect of the project, and we're going to see their status here and any notes that they would have put to improve the product during the roadmap. So any aspect of what's on the project list here. And so you could put in more people if you want to. You could even add in a row below if you have 5 people instead of 4, and so on. And then you can go through that process. The next one is project assets. And so what that's going to allow us to do is focus on particular files. So whatever files are part of our project, we've got our roadmap, review, and then this is going to be anything that is involved in our project. So you might have, like, for example, Jeremy and I, we do a lot of different videos, and so we have different projects that we're working on. And even so, if we're working on like this Google Essentials series, each file might actually refer more to a specific Google tool. So this might be like our Google Docs file. This might be our Google Slides file. And this would be where we could keep all of those files readily accessible. You can write in a brief description, and you could put in a status. You could change the status. You could modify these. Maybe we do more of like Google Docs. Well, that one is complete. And so we're going to put in a complete status there. Where, and then for our next video, we might cover Google Forms. And so we'll put in progress. There's a lot of opportunity here for tailoring it to how you want, but they have at least the basic outline for you for putting in the different parts of your project. And then one that Jeremy and I actually do use currently is the launch content tracker. And this helps us with putting in for each of our videos and our shorts that we do for YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. We're able to actually put in things like, YouTube short, and then we could put in, this is going to be our short for Magic School. The date that it was published, which is really nice because, or what like our goal is for publishing. Maybe we put January 2nd, and then here we can indicate whether it was published or not, right? Or maybe we want to even add in something like on hold, right? We're not quite ready. We maybe need to put in something else for that. And then the outlet, what we've done for these is our outlet is going to be like YouTube, Twitter, etc. So you put all that in. And then our link to content, typically with our videos, what we do is we have we'll have like a show notes or things for particularly for our descriptions when we are posting a video that details all of our content and what's being covered. And we have a Google Doc for each of those so that we can organize our descriptions and everything, but you could link to that and then be able to access it directly in here. And so this is really nice just for organizing a lot of your content and what step it's on in the process, and all of your things that you maybe need to access or be aware of as you're working on getting that content out.
Right. And, and these building blocks, right? They're all just kind of like glorified tables, right? And so you can add columns and rows, you can delete columns and rows, and you've shown how you can alter and adjust what you put in the cells. So if the template ones don't suit you the way that you want it, you can edit it to make it the way that you want it, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, yep. And I think traditionally, like what we're all used to is you would have a table and then you'd have text in pretty much everything. And so what changed and what's nice is the ability to use these chips and in a variety of different ways to just quickly select from a drop down menu so that you're not having to type everything in, right? It's already got everything preset for you, or you can modify it so that it's like a quick, you're just selecting what needs to go in that column and in that cell. So, um, and then our final one here, what I want to show is when you do an at symbol, that's where you actually get a lot of what we've been showing. So I mentioned before, there's several ways you can access these things. But what I want to do is with the placeholder chips, this is going to be where when you put your at symbol and you have your placeholder chip, this is where you can select what kind of placeholder chip it is. So when you're getting things like a date, or you're getting just your, text, like your sorry, your drop down, or like a file for that far column here, the link to content, which is a placeholder. This is what they're selecting, right? So what's nice about this is if you're wanting to insert your own custom table like this, that's where when we're putting in like the publish date, all they're doing is we're writing in publish date, and then for our following column, as we go down, if you put in the at symbol and you select the placeholder chip, that's where it's going to allow you to select that date option, right? Rather than say like a person or a file, and put in that placeholder. So then when you go to edit this table, you're able to just select those things. And then same with some of the other stuff we saw, who's the person or who's the reviewer, things like that. Well, if I put at again and choose my placeholder chip option, then I can select people so that when I go to edit the table, it's going to automate to know that I'm looking for a person in this particular dropdown, not a date. And you can set all those things up for whatever makes the most sense for you. So I hope that helps kind of show you some different ways to use the chips and some of the building blocks that are available from the insert menu. And you can use the presets that they have, or you can create things from scratch.